Okay, so I'm just starting my day. I haven't even showered yet. This is my pajama shirt. My hair is giving me like I just got shagged aesthetic. It's kind of like my new look. Just fake it till you make it, right? I'm pretending I get more action than I really do, but whatever. Wanted to make this video before I start my day because I have a busy day and then I don't want to forget to make this video. And while this story is fresh in my mind, while the memories are fresh in my mind, I want to tell you guys about my night last night. It was a very interesting night. So I went to Soho House. Soho House so they have a spot in Miami, but they have places all around the world. It's basically like a luxury, or like I don't know if we can say luxury, but like a posh sort of hotel chain. But Soho House like prides itself on being more exclusive and that kind of thing. Now, they have a membership thing, a membership club that I have joined. I joined it because I've talked about this before. I want to have more polished social experiences here in Miami with people who are like, a bit more advanced in terms of like ambition, culture, whatever. And I just thought, okay, if I'm paying for a membership, right, you get what you pay for, right? So if I'm paying for something that gives me access, then hopefully I can meet other more like serious, like-minded people. That was my theory. But a lot of people warned me about Soho House. They said, it's kind of known for like a douchey frat boy crowd. Are you sure that's what you want to be a part of? Blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, I just want to try it, right? They accepted me as a member. It was a whole thing, a whole process, application process, review process. It took months. Once they were like, hey, are you still interested? I was like, it took this long, might as well try it, right? I will say my first impression is pretty consistent with what people warned me about, that it's not necessarily my crowd. It feels very homogenous to me. It feels very much like 20-something, 30-something people who want to be seen, out and about, kind of like the club crowd of the meatpacking district in Manhattan in New York City, or even just the club scene of Miami. That's not my scene. I like to connect with people intellectually in a cerebral way. Being out just to get wasted with other people in your age group isn't, I don't know, it's not the most stimulating thing for me, and I feel like I can do that for free. Like, I don't need to pay for a membership for that. So anyway, all this being said, haven't had the best impression so far, and I've kind of put it in my mind like, at the end of this quarter, because you pay by quarter, I don't know that I will stay a member, right? But last night, my friend really wanted to go. He was like, can I please be your plus one? I want to go to Soho House. I think it's cool. I want to see this DJ, blah, blah, blah. I was like, sure, let's go. So I somewhat begrudgingly went because I was just tired from the week. I was like, I don't want to be around a bunch of drunk 20-something-year-old kids. But we did it. We went. And within 10 minutes, I was like, this is exactly what I thought it would be. Just, people bumping into you, and it's crowded, and you can like barely breathe. You barely have your own personal space. So we have a few drinks, loosen up, whatever. And at a certain point in the night, like, I would say after midnight, like 1 in the morning-ish, midnight, 1 in the morning-ish, I start to notice people looking at me. Some women, which like never happens. I feel like women never give me the eye. But also men, and like really attractive men. And so I'm walking with my friend through Soho House because they have a few different bars at the hotel there, or here in Miami. And I make really intense, direct eye contact with a handful of guys that are quite sexy. And it was one of those things, when sometimes you just kind of glance, like you just happen to catch somebody's eyes and then whatever, you move on to the next moment. But this was like, we're locking eyes. And then I turn a little bit, and then I turn back around to look at the guy, and he's still looking at me. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening here at the Soho House? And it's one of those things where I think I'm so conditioned to think I can only meet a gay guy in a gay environment, right? An app, a gay bar, that I forget, like, there's some gay people who just don't ever want to go to a gay bar. For whatever reason, they don't want to be seen there, whatever, this is more their scene. And I guess at a place like Soho House, it feels so to me like heteronormative, just the dynamic. It feels very like frat boy, sorority girl vibe, like a world that I've always felt like an outsider in, right, as a gay person. So these guys like sexy guys making eye contact with me. I was like, wait, so this is mutual? And then by the time you're like analyzing it, you're already, you're already at the other end of the room now, and there's a huge crowd, and it's like impossible to engage in that moment. And then I'm like, shit, should I have said something, blah blah blah. But it's funny that it takes me some time to process, like, oh, this person's giving me the eye. I have never experienced that. Like, I've never, even at a gay bar, I've never made eye contact with that many, I would say like 4 or 5 guys in a row like that, or even just throughout one night. I don't think I've ever been at a gay bar where I made eye contact with 4 or 5 guys that I was like kind of down to connect with. And this isn't even like a gay environment. Like, what are the chances that would happen? And it made me realize, oh, maybe this is where I need to hang out. Like, suddenly the Soho House membership doesn't seem so bad. Like, suddenly I'm like, maybe I'll stick around a little bit longer, because I am also, like so many of us, like fed up with the things that come with the territory of a gay bar. For example, I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday. Like, you go to the urinal to pee and the guy next to you staring at your private parts. Like, I don't want to deal with that level of the tackiness, and like the bathroom's gross. There's like urine on the floor and it smells like trash at the bar, and like the creep is staring at you. Of course, those elements can also happen at a Soho House type of, it can happen anywhere, right? A creep can be anywhere. Somebody slipping something in your drink can happen anywhere. People being messy and rude can happen anywhere. But I was so like thrown off my game that I did not expect that to happen here. And so now I'm like, maybe I gotta come back. Now, that being said, right, I mentioned how I was like, shoot, should I have engaged with these guys? But they just made eye contact and they didn't make a move either. And then it makes me think, are these guys openly gay? Like, is this just, they get to a certain point in the night where they've been drinking a lot and now they're less inhibited, and the ego is sort of, the walls have come down, and they, because I'm very sensitive to that whole thing as well, the like bi-curious or like down low thing. Like, I'm at an age where I really want to do my best to not engage with that, because I associate that with people who haven't done the work yet, right? Or they're not living authentically. It's like that song from Brownstone, "If You Love Me," from the 90s. It starts out, I'm paraphrasing, but something like, I want a love in the light, not in the dark, right? Like, I don't want somebody to pull me back into the closet, or, into that shame world of like, this is our little secret. There's of course something kind of tantalizing about that in a taboo kind of way, but I'm at an age where I know that that is not the kind of energy that I really want to attract, right? So I left Soho House last night like totally mind fucked, thinking like, that was kind of sexy and different and new for me, especially as somebody who has never historically gone to like a regular club. I don't even go to clubs, period, gay or straight, but that's not my scene. This isn't really so much my scene either. But I'm like, if I can connect with guys in an environment that's not like totally trashy and campy, that could be kind of interesting. So I will have to keep you guys posted to see if this was just a weird one-off night, law of attraction style. You pick up this energy when you're not looking for it, and then of course, you go back and then it never happens again. You guys will find out if that's the case, or if really there's something here where I've been doing it wrong for the past decade, and you're actually supposed to like, meet guys, ironically, specifically at non-gay environments like this.